guys, getting into that what's in the bag today. So lots of you wanted to see the updated version, and this is where we're at, headed into the winter season, guys. Obviously we're kind of fixed in on the distance side at the top end of the bag. We've got a pretty unique setup. All right, so we've got the one wood in there, we don't have too many head covers, and we're going to show you exactly all of our gapping. We're going to show you the distance, and we're going to work from the bottom of the bag all the way up to the top. All right, so with that in mind, starting out, we've got the wedges. Okay, so essentially we've got the 4 wedge setup. So we've got the pitching wedge, which is part of the irons. I've always preferred the kind of iron set pitching wedge, just something that I've liked all the way through. All right, I like to kind of cut it down, knock it down, flight the shots. And to be honest, with all these lofts, there's a lot of creativity. I try and play different shots the whole time, manage the ball flight. It's very rarely just a full wedge for me. All right, so we go from 46 in the TCB raw, which again, we'll get into the irons in a minute, into 50 degrees on the artisan. So I had these wedges for a while now, probably rest out. They'll manage through the rest of this year, and then we'll get into some new wedges. All right, but right now this is my setup. So we got 46 pitching wedge, we got 50 into the gap wedge. I've always preferred a strong gap wedge because of the extra distance you get from an iron. So we're going to 50 in the gap wedge, 56 with a little bit higher bounce on the sand wedge. That's your kind of everyday club. All right, I use that for all different kinds of shots. And then we got the dual grind, 60-degree lob wedge. This has been my setup for a long time and will continue to be moving forwards. All right, so again, very rarely hit a full shot, but right now we're up in the studio. We're going to give you the exact yardages right from the bottom of the bag all the way up. So let's get started. Okay guys, wedge is done. So let's get fully into the irons. So as we said, TCB raw, they're staying in the bag right now, okay? We did have the comparison between these and the T100. These are winning out right now, okay? So we've got 4-through wedge, we've got the normal gradients of lofts. Also, they're not crazy strong lofts, all right? So a 7-iron, by today's standards, is still a 7-iron. There's no crazy lofts going on, all right? I play everything 1 degree upright, we're 3/4 long, and we're in dynamic gold X7. All right, that goes all the way through from 4-iron down to the gap wedge, and then 56-60 at S400. Okay, so happy with this build, man. We've been on this build for a while. We got extra layers under the mid-size, so we got like 5 extra layers under mid-size, so we're pretty thick up the top. All right, so again, much like with the wedges, don't often play just a full-out shot. Quite often trying to knock it down, add a little bit of cut and control the trajectory, but in here we can just tee off and let it go. Okay, so fading in from the wedge, we're 155 for the pitching wedge. Again, lots of different shots we can play there. Jumping straight into the 9-iron, let's see how that gradient looks all the way through the bag. Right guys, this is where it gets a little different, okay? So from there it's pretty conventional, up to the 4-iron, and then we go a little different, okay? So top of the bag, no fairway woods, no hybrids. We go with the 3-iron and the 1-iron, okay? So the 3-iron, we're just tweaking right now with my guys at Tour Issue Golf. We're a little strong, so we're at 19 degrees and currently have ProDetect LS, all right? So again, this is one we're kind of working on right now. This gives us a really low flight, doesn't want to turn over because of the lie angle we got on there. It's a little flatter than the rest of the clubs. And that is a pretty cool shot for me. All right, so we have to make sure we really get that one to get the distance out there for the gapping. But it's a pretty useful tool. All right, and then this thing is a weapon. All right, guys, so I haven't had this in the bag too long. We've got the 1 iron. Again, 16 degrees, Titleist U505, so just come out. And we got the Velocore Ventus Blue 10X. All right, so graphite, but 100 grams, super solid. It's a pretty awesome build, guys. All right, so this goes deep, guys. All right, so already up at around 300 yards off the tee. This just brings the dispersion down. I'm really pretty confident with it, and that makes a huge difference. All right, I've always been that 2 iron player, so we just kind of leveled up into something else, guys. All right, so let's continue on with the distances. Been on point so far. Again, in here, it's just a straight stock shot. I'm not really going absolutely flat out, but also on the course, there'll be a lot of knockdown shots, a lot of cuts. This has just been the straight up distance. Okay, so let's see where these 2 irons are at. Let's drive it time. Alright guys, we made it to the top of the bag. We're going to spend a little bit of time on the driver because we got some Big Ten updates coming in not too long. Alright, so we're in a Sim 2 head. This is a tow van head. It's 7.4 actual loft. We got it cranked down a little, so it's pretty low right now, guys. Alright, we're just at 5.9 degrees. It's a hot head, super low spin. It's pretty awesome, guys. Alright, so this head has kind of gone through a couple of shafts. We're going to keep testing. Need to put more work in on the driver swing, but generally we're getting out there pretty good. Okay, so recently switched up to the HD7TX from Graphite Design. Got it tipped up an inch. We're playing at 46 now, guys. All right, so we are trying to max out distance, but generally been hitting it relatively straight as well. All right, so again, in terms of max distance, on a good day, obviously we're looking for that 190 and 200 ball speed. That's the progression we are on. More work needed, but we're getting there, guys. All right, the on course, you know, we want to stay in control. But if I'm taking driver, it's full send, whatever. All right, so you have to kind of pick the situation, and then when it's go, it's go. All right, so let's see how far we're traveling today, and let's see where we get to on that speed work. Right guys, last couple of pieces of equipment. So, as you can see, did some work, hit some reps, nice gradients through the bag. Still got loads of work to do with the game, but we're making progress, all right? I'm pretty happy where the swing's at. We just got to do more work, all right? The final pieces to the bag are gonna be the putter. This hasn't changed for a long time, which for me is a pretty big deal, okay? So we've got the toe van, Spider X, you got the slant neck, it's a little bit upright, 34 degrees with the super stroke. I roll this thing pretty good. And for me, I'm taking it, guys, all right? So this has been in the bag a long time. It might take a bit of getting out of the bag as well, to be honest, okay? Final piece of equipment, it's gonna be the ball. We got the Bridgestone Toe BX, all right? So I actually really like the XS as well, but these balls get it done. So that's the what's in the bag. Getting it done right now, like I say, it's piecing it all together. We're trying to gain speed, we're in the gym, but we're also running a bunch of business, all right, guys? So it's a tricky time, but it's an exciting time, all right? So let me know what you think. Let us know what your what's in the bag is. Let us know your goals. Hopefully this gave you a pretty cool insight, some good numbers, and something to work off, guys, all right? So check out my guys at Tour Issue Golf. They built every club in the bag. Incredible builds, incredible clubs. It's all good, guys, all right? So either way, check out the rest of our videos. We've got lots of golf fitness, lots of golf swing, some cool vlogs as well in there, guys. All right, so subscribe to the channel, check everybody out, and download the app. I got more work to do. Let's go.